First order of business to approve the minutes.
He's not on.
Steve here.
No, he's not here, no. Everyone had a chance to look at the minutes? If so, I'll entertain a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Glenn Kissling.
I'll second it.
Second by Jeff. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Same way with the claims. Everybody had a chance to look those over.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Tim.
Make the second.
Second, Jose. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No. We have three guests with us tonight, basically in regards to going through some roofing quotes. Each of them had a chance to come in and answer any questions about the quote that they sent in, so we're just going to kind of start with that, and if you guys have any questions of who it was that's going to come up, please ask the questions, make sure we're all on the same page with everything. So the first one I have is Mr. Hettinger. Come on up to the podium if you would, please.
Question I have, your half-inch insulation, one of the other bids had thicker insulation. Would you have the capabilities of making thicker insulation?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. And also, I don't think there's anything stated about a warranty. What's your warranty on your?
I think I stated on there was a 20-year manufacturer's warranty.
I missed it then,
On the
I'm sorry.
bottom line.
I apologize, I missed it then.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, yeah, it's on there.
Is that a prorated warranty?
No.
That's the only two questions I had.
Anybody else have any questions? You got off easy.
Yeah.
Jeff, you got any questions? No? Okay. Okay, the next one, let's see. Mr. Schmidt. Thanks for coming.
Yep.
Questions?
Have you, maybe this is for everybody, have you inspected the roof? Or do you expect that there's gonna be any kind of damage or rot or things that are gonna increase the cost of the roof? Or do you feel like it's in pretty good shape? Any way of knowing?
There's one spot where it's leaked before, and the insulation's bowing, but other than that, no.
So the base bid is for 45 mil, but you can elect to, we can elect to go up to 60 mil.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you got them broken down into upper and lower? Upper roof area and lower roof area? Is that separated for a reason? Like maybe it would imply that we would only do one part now and... Pardon me?
That's heading to the-
Oh, I'm on the wrong one, sorry. My apologies. So I did have a question for you. I'll come back to it, sorry.
No, that's fine.
You asked about thicker mills, so are they gonna get back to us on different prices then on different mills for both? or
It's
whoever?
price- it's a price
His
on this.
proposal
There's
does
an
have it in
Okay,
there.
I guess it's the first one, if you come back with
Yeah.
a thicker material, you gotta come back with an additional price?
I quoted
He quoted 60 mil. The first one,
Yeah.
Hettinger quoted 60 mil,
Heading
and
quarter
20-year warranty.
60.
This, Schmidt has added as an option, 60 mil with a 20-year warranty.
And he states a 2-inch insulation, whereas Headinger states a 1/2-inch insulation.
I wish I had these printed out instead of looking on these laptops. Now it's broke up.
Wonderful laptop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Any other questions right now? I mean, while he's here to talk to, I mean, we may have to look at these, make sure we're comparing everything together. There you go.
Thanks.
Do you feel like there's still life left in the existing roof? Is there?
No, it's about shot.
Yeah.
It might have maybe like a year.
Yeah, us upstairs employees can attest
You
to
could
that.
vouch for that.
We've been fighting leaks for quite a while. I think it's time to bite the bullet. I don't have any other questions for this gentleman.
Anybody else? Once again, these are easy questions. Obviously, in transparency, we just want to make sure we're all talking about the same thing all the time, so. Mr. Yoder. Thanks for coming.
Question I have, I believe they're again, same scenario, the insulation thickness, you not mentioned the thickness. What insulation thickness were you thinking about?
Inch and a half.
Inch and a half?
Do we know what's there now?
Probably nothing,
Okay.
be my guess.
On the top, there's 2 layers of inch and a half.
Oh, is there? Okay. Thank you.
I'm guessing that y'all haven't seen each other's quotes, but are all three the same process, similar material, just different pricing, different?
I think Yoder has an option, an alternate bid for a
Right.
different material. They all bid 60 mil rubber, is that right?
TPO, yes.
But Yoder is an optional for a different material. You can maybe explain that.
Do you want a sample of it?
I think the options on the bid, the second option you give, first of all, I'm not for it, that's basically pressure washing and applying a liquid coat. I don't think that's gonna fix the roof the way we need it fixed. I believe we need to look at the full replacement, in my opinion. So,
That was your optional bid, was a pressure wash and coating?
Yes, putting a coating system on it.
So did the, I see a 15-year on the, sorry, you have to excuse my lack of knowledge on this topic, but there was a lower quote that was gonna be the liquid coating, okay? So it says there's a 15-year warranty on that process.
Correct.
And that's simply, hey, if the roof leaks, you're gonna come back and fix it?
Correct. It's a
Okay.
non-prorated warranty.
Non-prorated warranty, okay. Versus the second quote, which is applying new material, new TPO rubber on top of what's,
then we're gonna tear off the old, right?
It depends. I couldn't remember if it was fully adhered or not. If it's fully adhered, we would probably just cut it to let it breathe and then install an inch and a half and then the TPO on top of that.
okay.
And that's for the TPO.
Yeah.
Maybe you could help me understand the liquid that you're gonna put on top. Why would we choose that option over the others? Just cost, or is there?
A lot of people would look at cost. I don't know where you guys are at on, comparing by cost. I specialize kind of in the liquid applied systems. I've been working with them for probably over 20 years. I probably helped with my first one when I was 15 years old. So I started in business about 10 years ago on my own, actually 2010, so it's coming to 11 now. But we have really good luck with these systems, really good, I don't know if you want to call it luck, but really good performance. We like them. It's not just spraying over the roof. It's a system, it's a multi-step system, and it works really good for us. A lot of people maybe, coating's kind of got a bad rap, probably because of people not installing them correctly. I can give you multiple references if you want to look at that. I like it because it's fully adhered to the system that's there. It goes down as a coating, and then we apply the fabric and we overlap that so we can make a seamless roof. And We can warranty that roof, and then we can renew that warranty in 15 years with another company.
Okay. Anybody else?
No other questions? Okay, I appreciate you coming. Seriously, thank you for all of you guys for coming, because that's not an easy thing to do, I know. But, it gives us a chance to ask questions for you guys and make sure we're all on the same page about what's going to be there and what's not going to be there, and things of that kind. So, obviously, we appreciate that.
Sure, we have
So-
some timeframe? I mean, if whoever we would get.
Well, we could certainly do that. What kind of a time frame are we all looking at as far whoever we choose to do that? As far as, is there different, you're all pretty much the same time frame as far as getting things done? I don't know. Don't get.
It's all near the end of the summer, August, September.
Just kidding.
I think they were all about the same, weren't they, towards the end of the summertime situation?
Okay.
So we're looking at a couple, 2 or 3 months probably, before anybody could get to it anyway.
I do have a question with Henninger. Kurt, yours was a 1/2 inch insulation, is that correct?
That's correct.
One was 1.5 inches and one was 2 inches. Why the 1/2 inch first?
The half inch board that I put in the proposal is a high density board, where it is 100 PSI density to it, whereas a normal 1.5 inch, 2 inch are gonna be 20 PSI density. So on a recover application where you've got aged ISO, poly-ISO insulation, it's a great cover board to put over. And it's gonna perform well under foot traffic and everything like that. If you are interested though in increasing your R value of your insulation, it would be a good time to do it. And as a matter of fact, the 1/2 inch high density board would be cost equivalency of a 2 inch ISO, regular ISO board.
When you say cost or R value? Cost?
Pardon?
The cost or the R value?
The cost, the R value is only gonna be, it's gonna be negligible for the 1/2 inch recover board. But it's a recover board to put over, as a protection over your insulation.
Okay.
So in Henninger's process, you would remove the existing,
Remove the existing
Insulation.
membrane and then,
and the insulation, the existing insulation? as well?
no, we would reuse the
So
existing
you're
insulation.
going on top of that?
Go on top of
insulation.
that.
So there's already 1.5 inch or 2 inches?
There's 2 layers of 1.5 inch, I know, on the higher roof.
So your
I'm not
quote-
sure what's
So your
on the
quote
bottom.
would put additional,
An additional 1/2 inch
on top of
on
this?
top of that, yes.
Are we going
And the
to,
odors quote, I don't think, for the TPO, there's no insulation quoted at all? Or is it replaced
That
as
would be
needed?
1.5 inch.
Okay,
And we-
maybe, I just didn't see it, I guess.
At what point do you have more R value there than you need? Like what is already there? What's the optimal R value for that roof? And is 1.5 inch really all of it you would put on there because any more is wasteful, or what do you think about that?
Well, right now, like building code, I think is gonna be 2 layers of 2 inch, which is gonna be 21 R value. Back when this building was added on to, I think that the architects were specifying 2 layers of 1.5 inch because there was a lower R value in the building code. So it's a little bit higher right now. So most new buildings you would see 2 layers of 2 inch ISO with an R value of 21.
so are we gonna reward this tonight, or we're just gonna?
I think we need to just, we had a chance to ask questions, and so I think probably we need to just kind of thank them for coming and kind of go through and make
So-
sure we're all talking about the same thing, so.
So Mr. Henninger quoted a 1/2 inch, but he has the option of increasing that. Should we give him that option with an add-on, or do we just take it as word for that?
Do you know what that increase would be, Kurt?
For what?
If we increased it to the, so I'm making sure I'm in the right place here.
like the cost, that half-inch board is actually more expensive than the 2-inch or the 1.5-inch board.
Okay.
Because it's a high-density product.
So it wouldn't be any different
It
price-wise?
wouldn't be any different.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have any more questions.
For Mr. Smith, I mean, is yours saying like, if you're gonna add the 2-inch insulation on yours, are you gonna remove what's up there now, or just put it on top of that? Is that what you're
No, I
saying?
put in there just the wet insulation. So like where I talked about it was bone,
Mm-hmm,
we pull that.
okay. But would he need to quote a 1/2-inch insulation too, if these guys are doing 1/2 inches? Or would that make the price difference?
No, I can do either or.
Okay.
What would the price be of just getting these two girls an umbrella and saying we're done?
Don't forget the mop.
Yeah, the mop.
I have a lot of plastic.
Tarp.
She has a whole, practically a whole roll of plastic. She covers all her stuff up before she leaves.
Okay, I think it's time then, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think if we're gonna do it, we should tear off and repair what needs to be repaired, in my opinion. Let's do it right if we're gonna do it. The only question I have is, Tom, what do we have budgeted? You know?
Well, I think it was budgeted to split between the utilities, 7,500 and the council.
Okay. So that's what we carried over from
Something
last
like
year,
that.
right? Something like that? We had that budget for last year, or to do it this year, or whatever?
It was budgeted to do this year.
Okay.
We couldn't have been encumbered because we
Right.
didn't know what it
We
was.
didn't know what it was. Okay, well, I think we've got the information now, we just need to decide what we're gonna do, so I appreciate y'all coming, and we'll certainly let you know. And you're certainly welcome to sit through the rest of the meeting if you like, or, are you, not that you probably really want to do that, so, but I do thank you for coming, so.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Just take this under advisement, maybe let somebody in the city also look at it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would think that we'd do that, and then maybe executive meeting, we'd discuss it, and then come back to the council and say which one we chose. Would that be
Can't really
right?
do an executive session.
So we have to bring it to council.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there somebody on staff that could evaluate these, has enough knowledge to give some recommendations? to the
Jeff said he
council?
would.
There you go.
I'm obviously the most knowledgeable in here.
I said Jeff's gonna be doing some Googling.
Well, especially since he wants to give them umbrellas. Okay, so we're gonna table this and put it under advisement until we can go through it, make sure everything's on the same page, and then we'll discuss it the next meeting and make sure we get it taken care of it that way. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Jackie, you're up.
I have my cohort this evening.
That's me.
How's everybody doing?
Great,
Great.
Jackie.
Well, I wanted to, before I get into the operating grant, I wanted to touch on a couple of things. A little bit about what's happened in the last year. All I can say is, I don't want to say it, COVID. It took a tremendous toll on me personally. And I'd like to thank April for stepping in and when I wasn't here and taking care of our transit system and making sure that it kept running. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
It also took a toll on all the transportation agencies across the country. You know, from our project manager, we're hearing the same thing over and over. So by looking at the numbers, I gave you a sheet of our numbers that we run every month and for the last few years. And you can see COVID did take a hit. We did take a hit on our boardings, but we're starting to climb out of it now. I think everyone's getting a little bit more comfortable with being out. We went from 428 passenger boardings in February to 687 in March. and we held steady with that in April. So hopefully, yeah, we're climbing out. Glad to see the numbers going up. And that's consistent too with a lot of the transit agencies around the area, so. Also wanted to point out to everybody that the Transportation Security Administration has extended the face mask requirement for all transportation networks, including public transportation. They've extended that through September 13th of 2021. So we, right now, our riders on our transit vehicles must wear a face mask along with our drivers. And we will be required to continue that until September, and then we'll see where we go from there. But just wanted you all to know that we're continuing that, and we're continuing to clean. We do clean several times throughout the day whenever a vehicle is taken out. So we're continuing doing that.
This is that email where you received from Todd Jennings about the face mask.
Right, yeah. I'll just see if I can solve
Are you still doing single passengers, or are you doing multiple passengers now?
We're doing spacing.
Spacing?
I know, like, if we have a far best run, those 4, 5, 6 people, they work together, they're around each other.
Yeah.
We pretty much let them go together on the vehicle as long as they have masks. We occasionally have someone who thinks they're gonna board without one, but that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
In our minivan that we have, we do not allow any front seat passengers in that vehicle, and we're not going to.
That's fine.
We're gonna keep our drivers safe.
And
them
that's
safe too.
just one person at a time.
Yeah.
Unless it's family.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
So this evening, the Transit Department will be requesting approval to apply for the Section 53 Assistance Grant for calendar year 2022. We have an operating grant funds and also the capital grant funding to replace our wheelchair accessible 2012 low-floor minivan. The operating grant, we just got word that the projected, these are just projections and estimates. The state budget agency won't be telling or letting NDOT know exactly what the figures are going to be until this fall. So these are just projected numbers. But the federal allocation from NDOT, they have given us is $136,517 for operating grant. The state allocation would be $25,147. So the total estimated funds would be $161,664. NDOT, like I said, will notify us this fall whether those hold. I really don't know what to expect. Hoping they hold. Can I go right into the vehicle grant? Is that okay?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. So the 2012 Dodge Caravan, due to the age of that vehicle and the cost that we've recently had on the transmission, the repairs to the transmission, I got in touch with NDOT, and they're like, yes, by all means, go ahead and apply. It's normally an 80-20 split. The estimated cost of a new low-floor minivan is $47,000. That's what they're giving us. 80% of that would be $37,600, and then local funding is to pick up the other 20%, which would be $9,400. And as Glenn, you recall, you had a front row seat where our 2018 vehicle was totaled in 2018. And we were just about ready to get a new vehicle. And the insurance gave us a check for $16,946. So talked to Tom, and we put that money into an account to be spent on new vehicles costs, our costs for the local funding. So we have more than enough to cover the local funding on that low-floor minivan. They said they were going to be a Voyager Chrysler chassis, but the wheelchair ramp, instead of being a fold-out that works on this pivot that takes a lot of constant open and closing, open and closing. I think, April, you saw it at one of our conferences. Did it have a handle?
It has a handle.
And you pull it out from underneath the vehicle and it slides and then out.
It goes underneath the floor.
So that's a
And comes
little
in.
bit something different.
It was really neat. I had a video, but I'm not sure if I still have it.
So.
Is that gonna meet, excuse me, is that gonna meet your requirements for weight and capacity, that type of ramp?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
I mean, they
It doesn't,
have
the low-rise van, you know, it doesn't lift them up in the air, it just goes down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
the lifts, the new vehicle we have is 1,000 pounds.
Okay.
And I think the older vehicle is either 600 or 800.
Okay.
So do we need to make a motion to let her go ahead and do that?
I think the operating grant needs a resolution, correct?
Yeah, there's a
Resolution
resolution
number.
included,
Number.
yeah.
It would be 2021, 16.
So we just need a motion to approve the resolution, is that
That's
correct?
correct. Yeah, the resolution's in the board pack.
I'll
Right.
make a motion to approve resolution 2021-16.
Motion made by Glenn,
I'll second it.
second by Tim, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And then I think you're also requesting authority to apply for the capital grant.
Correct.
Okay. So we need to make a motion to apply for the capital grant.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Glenn,
I'll second it.
second by Jeff. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, moving on. I'm going to have April come up and talk to you a little bit about our transit marketing plan and also the public transportation safety plan.
So, this is new, the marketing plan. Jackie sent you guys a list of the marketing plan for the transit department. A list of everything that I do and we all do to promote the transit. So this is new, right? This year, they're wanting it to be approved, everything that we do. And I wanted to bring up a couple things with doing all this. Just recently, something that we did just recently, for example, was I spoke with Wagon Works property manager Stephanie Barnett and went to her facility, and the drivers took packets to her for new clients that come in that are going to be renting apartments. And then when they come in, she gives them a new packet so that they know that we are available for them with our hours and all of our information on it. So that's kind of an example of what we do to promote transit. And not only have we gone to Wagon Works, generally we go to Friendship Village every year. We go to the senior center, out to the lofts. We've gone around to Oak Ridge and the different apartment complexes. And just giving them brochures and information. I also created a tear-off type phone number type thing that, like a bulletin board ad is what we call it, both English and Spanish. And the drivers, whenever they have spare time, like if they take someone to the IGA and they say, oh, we're only gonna be in here a few minutes, they'll go in and they'll hang those on the bulletin board so people can just tear a phone number off. And that's kind of an example of what we do to promote it and get the word out there about our transit. Just recently, we lost one of our regular riders, and her son sent us a note, a card with a note in it, and it's a perfect example of how the citizens in town, you know, feel about how we're available for them. His mom was sick and not able to drive. He also has seizures and he's not able to drive. So they used our system for her doctor's appointments and on a regular basis. And she was like family to us, so it was very hard for all of us to lose her suddenly. Just happened, you know, one day she was here, I drove her like on Tuesday, and then Thursday she passed away, so suddenly. But he sent us this thank you card with a letter in it, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Also, we have some, and this is on one spectrum, this was an elderly lady. And on the other spectrum, we had this come up on Facebook this past week. It's from Color My World Preschool. One of the parents that uses our transportation put a post up about how wonderful it was to have us, for her to be able to be at work and us to take her daughter to school and not have to worry about her. And so I printed that off for you guys to see as well. So I wanted to share that with you.
Am I already seen it?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
You sent it to me.
I saw it on Facebook. It was pretty
Oh,
cool.
Oh,
the newsletter. Did you look at it already?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's another way we promote the newsletter. I just sent it, I think I sent it to all of you guys today, so. Okay, so, that's all I have for the marketing plan.
Okay. Do we need something to approve this? Is that what you're asking
Is that
for?
right, Jackie?
We just need council approval. We have to put an effective date and a date that a council or board approved this marketing plan.
Okay, so I just need a motion to approve their marketing plan so they can send it off and get it approved for the state, I guess.
I'll make the motion.
Jeff?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll say.
Second, okay. All in favor?
Good work, you guys.
All right, okay.
So Jackie asked me to present the safety plan. You uploaded that and sent it to them. Do they have it?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so in January, while Jackie was out, I had noticed emails coming in about the safety plan deadlines. I requested assistance from Gina and Travis Gentry to help finish it, and we got it done. Jackie had actually started it and we were able to finish it. The FTA sent a template to follow for all 5311 systems to implement their own policies concerning safety. The reason for creating the safety plan is so that all 5311 systems have a basic plan to follow, which in turn helps the FTA audits run smoother. It was sent in to Jason Castell with NDOT for reviewing and then submitted to our NDOT 5311 project manager, Todd Jennings, for final review. And Todd has since reviewed that and approved it and sent it back to us for you guys to approve. And then we need their approval as well.
Okay, so we just need a motion to approve this safety plan, is that what you're asking for?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Tim,
And second.
seconded by Jose, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's all.
Thank you.
Easy. Good job, you guys.
Thank you guys for what you do, appreciate it.
It's Sometimes a thankless job.
And Jeff will drop your new umbrella off next week.
Red's my favorite color.
Blue for me, please.
Well, now they're getting picky.
Yeah, you're gonna get what you're gonna get.
All right, Gary.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Last council meeting, I brought up looking at an available building out on 64. And one of the councilmen had asked where all we had equipment stored. And that's what this sheet is. That's where we have our equipment stored in various places. That sheet right there, that's a breakdown of everything we've got stored outside. And if you look at the bottom line, that's the kind of dollars we're storing outside or else in an open front building. And the equipment isn't very secure there. And that was the reason for looking at that particular building. We could get everything in. What I was curious about was, would you be interested in having a realtor come and talk about our options on that building, or do we want to put it to bed and move along? Asking what you guys would like to do.
Well, I think the last meeting, if I remember correctly, we were talking about going out and seeing where everything was at and what was available, different facilities and things were available, so I don't know whether everybody had.
Jeff and I have been working on that.
Okay.
We've been out for the past 2 days looking at
Okay.
and seeing what the city inventory is of properties, if something would work versus purchasing a building.
Right.
So we're still gathering our information, so to
Okay.
speak, is that, and then,
Okay.
but yeah, we haven't.
Well, I think with what you're getting, from what you're looking at and the information that Gary just gave you, maybe we could sit down at that point and kind of decide and discuss things. So
Yeah.
table it tonight again, I think it's the best thing to do that until we're able to go through all that stuff. But I appreciate you getting all the information.
We understand the need of it now
Yeah,
because we didn't
exactly.
realize the stuff that's sitting out, especially the equipment. And then Gary went over it with us today, and
Okay.
I hate seeing the expensive equipment sit outside in the elements, put it that way.
Right.
So,
All right. Have a good
thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Tom, do you want to talk about the revised change order for Huntingburg
Yeah,
Machine Works?
last meeting, the Huntingburg Machine Works change order number 2 was presented to you. You might have had a copy, but what was presented was a $46,000 change order. It was a previous version, and that was the one that was actually passed. So the good one is a change order for $51,723.90. So we just need an approval for that amount. It's the same, amounts to the same thing, it just had a wrong, John had a wrong number in there.
It's truing up all the units that were used, pipe.
Yeah,
rock,
whatever
backfill.
materials were used on a
Yeah.
per unit basis, it's what you approved last time, but the
Just didn't have the right.
the
numbers
number
on
was
it.
wrong in
Okay.
The dollar.
the dollar amount.
It went the wrong way.
Yeah, it did.
So I guess you would, a motion to approve the revised change order for $51,723.90.
I'll make the motion.
You got Jeff?
I'll say.
Second by Glenn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And then the next thing was the input tax abatement form, Tom?
Yeah, I got that today,
Yeah.
real late, well, about noonish, and that has to be approved. INPA has a tax abatement. It's I guess it's the CF1 UD that has to be approved so that they can get their tax abatement. I think we're about in the 5th year of the 5-year abatement. So,
These are on the solar panels, correct?
but,
Are these on the solar panels?
yeah, it is the solar, it is
Yeah,
the solar.
solar field, yeah.
Solar field.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what,
Yeah, your determination as to whether or not they have complied with what their representation was gonna be. My laptop froze up, I can't find it. But what their representation was gonna be when they applied for the tax abatement, and have they fulfilled that representation. And they applied that they were going to be investing $2,896,587 in new personal property, which is the solar panels, and they in fact did do that. And so every year you have to review whether or not they did in fact do what they said they were going to do.
I was looking back, and I think part of the resolution, part of it was that they would generate electricity for us, and they have done that since the beginning.
So we just need a motion to go ahead and sign off on that?
Well, I think their wording is or is not in substantial compliance
Yes,
with the original.
a motion to determine whether or not they are in substantial compliance with their initial application.
So they have spent the money and they do generate electricity.
So basically they have. So we just.
That would be, that would be what I would think.
So we just need a motion to say, yes, they have?
Yeah.
That's it.
Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, by Tim,
I'll second
second
it.
by Jeff, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Can
Bill, do
you,
you have anything?
I have nothing.
Bob, anything else?
I think Jeff had a question.
yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry.
can you elaborate? I remember when we did this, but I didn't
Well-
think it was 5 years ago. And
Well, it was
so-
in 16.
Yeah, so it goes by fast, but
They did have, and I noticed they included the original one, and it had electric generating facility consisting of solar photovoltaic panels, inverters and transformers, rack mounts, wiring, circuit breakers, relays, and related equipment and facilities. And that was the equipment that they were, that they were going to spend, and they spent $2,896,587. That isn't what the assessed value is now, but
so the assessed value is depreciating. But you're thinking that after the 5th year,
it was a 5-year abatement.
And was it 100% for 5 years? Or has it been gradually
Well,
dropping?
let's see, it was, the schedule was in here, I think.
I saw it just a second ago. Are you looking at page 2 of 3?
It was in our resolution as well.
Okay.
But they included copies of all that stuff.
Did they make a statement on how much money we saved with it, or anything like that, or how much power it produced?
No,
They used to have a
that would be a
website.
John thing. Okay, year 1 was 100%, year 2 was 100%, year 3 is 75%, year 4 was 50%, and year 5 is 25%.
Okay. Okay.
And no, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Anyone else have anything else? No? I'm listening.
Motion. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.